And now let's go to the Niners, 12-3 at Seattle, 11-4. Seahawks getting 3 points. Niners getting 78% of the bets, 83% of the money. The total at 47, 53% of the bets, 63% of the dollars on the over.
Yeah, I mean, Kyle Shanahan can't call a run on 4th and 1, so now the Niners have to win this game to get the 1 seed. If not, and the Packers win, the 49ers are on the road to start the playoffs next weekend, either in Dallas or in Philly. So, I mean, this game, look, I don't know who's playing running back. I forget. Oh, God, who did they sign? They signed all their old running backs. But
Marshawn Lynch and Robert Turbin will join rookie Travis Homer in the backfield.
Travis Homer, yes. That's what they're going to be relying on this week. Because Lynch, I think they won for the playoffs, but I doubt he's going to be ready. He was like handing out shots in the parking lot of the Raiders game of the week.
That's how he plays his normal. He's like Ron Artest. Take out a Henny at halftime and good to go.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, I mean, they maybe go use him this week. But, look, they lost – I mean, losing Chris Carson hurts. They're just so banged up at running back. They lost Melvin Gordon. I mean, and this team's, we've called them, they've been fraudulent all year long, and it showed last week. The biggest difference here is, look, it's Russell Wilson at night and prime time at home. They're going to have a shot, and he's going to give them a shot. But the biggest difference between this time and the time that they played last, when the Seahawks beat the 49ers in overtime in San Fran earlier this year, is that George Kittle is playing. And if you want to look at the weakness, one of the weaknesses of many of the Seattle defense, it is, number one, against the run, and number two, over the middle of the field, which is where Kittle lives. And look, if you look at the 49ers, their rush offense, so just look at it from yards per play. They're averaging 4.6 yards per carry. That's 9th in the NFL. It's pretty good, top 10. But without Kittle, 2 games without Kittle. One of them was against the Seahawks. But in those 2 games, one of them was against the Cardinals. Not necessarily the best run defenses in the NFL. Without Kittle, those 2 games, 46 carries for 121 yards. That's 2.6 yards per carry. With Kittle, 428 for 2056, 4.8. That'd be top 5 in the NFL. And Seattle's allowing 4.8 yards per carry. That's 28th in the NFL. No matter what advanced metric you look at, they're not great against the run. They also don't get a lot of pressure. But with Kittle, not only is he a great run blocker, he also demands the attention of your linebackers and your safeties, and you can't, you can't dedicate as much attention to the run. So the 49ers should have a lot more success running the ball. And I don't know how good the Seahawks run defense is going to be. And that is the weakness of the 49ers defense. It's not a glaring weakness, but they're so solid against the pass because they get so much pressure. And their secondary is solid and now healthy, and they can just sit back. They don't blitz. And they're one of the lowest blitzing teams in the NFL, and they're the highest pressure rate teams in the NFL. That really helps the secondary out. That's pretty talented as well. So I think the 49ers are the better team. They'll be able to run the ball, I think, a lot more successfully than the Seahawks and then the 49ers did in the first meeting. I think that will ultimately be the difference. The wild card is Russell Wilson magic. But I think the 49ers find a way.
Yeah, and speaking of Kittle, as we've done the past few weeks, we are running a new Fade Ravel promotion with our friends at PointsBet Sportsbook. This week, our colleague Darren Ravel is taking George Kittle over 70.5 receiving yards. Darren is taking Kittle over 70.5, and PointsBet is boosting the under 70.5 to plus 100 from minus 115. Personally, I think Darren is on the right side. The Seahawks giving up 67 and a little over 67. Let me say it again. Personally, I think Darren is on the right side. The Seahawks, according to our friends at Football Outsiders, giving up 67.8 schedule-adjusted yards per game to tight ends. That is the third most in the league. And we know George Kittle is one of the best tight ends in the league. But it's always fun to fade our guy, Darren Ravel. Maybe make him get a little back waxing.
To just lose by like a half a point in like crazy fashion. It's pretty wild.
So, if you're interested in fading Ravel, just follow the link in the episode description for more details.